Perk, I got to tell you, I sort of oscillate between it's only 4 games into the season, and when I'm sitting on my couch at night and I'm watching teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm watching what the Knicks are doing, do I need to start reaching for that panic button yet? Are you more concerned about the Knicks or the Bucks here?
Well, I'm not concerned about the Knicks. The problem that they have, they're going to fix that. That's just getting Karl Anthony Towns more involved offensively. That's on Tibbs and Jalen Brunson to do. They will do it. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks, on the other hand, they have a problem. They got real issues. When you have both of your guys, your 2 franchise guys, superstar caliber players, all-time greats, going off, they've been playing well, exceptional this season, and you're still losing games, and especially the game in Brooklyn that you're supposed to win. Again, it comes down to who's going to be that third option. I know Chris Middleton is out due because of injury, but how is he going to look? Right? It just seems like in the words of Chiney, the synergy is not there, okay? The chemistry is not there. I would think I would see more from the bench, meaning like more chest bumping, more high-fiving. There's something going on in that locker room I can't put my hand on, but I will say this. They took a guy like Patrick Beverley for granted. Imagine what he was doing in that locker room to bring in togetherness.
Well, I just think there's no identity. What's the identity of this roster right now? They're 26th in defensive efficiency. Outside of Giannis and Dame, what else do you have with this group? I was expecting more from Gary Trent Jr. and Taurean Prince, certainly from the starting lineup here. And I think it shows, and Milwaukee actually played pretty well last night up until they hit that buzzsaw in the third quarter. Why you have to bank that Brooklyn and that Chicago game as far as try to put that in the win column?
Right.
Because these games are going to creep up on you, and their schedule coming up is going to be brutal right now.
That's a great point, and it got me going straight to my notes because when we think about the Celtics, we think about threes. When we think about the Pacers, we literally think about pace. When we think about the Knicks, obviously it's their defense, but that isolation offense, and now they've sort of expanded themselves with the chemistry of those guys. But when we think about the Bucks, it's very strange because I trust Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yes.
I trust Damian Lillard.
Right.
But we don't know what this squad truly is and what their identity is outside of those two getting in a good 2-man action. One thing we do know is they had one thing to address. And it's not the thing that's cute, not pretty, all that type of stuff. It's defense. That was their number one thing that really held them back. Perimeter defense and overall defense. Right now, it looks like that's still the problem. And to me, that is a problem. Right. And that's not a problem that necessarily Chris Middleton can just fix. They're 26th already. I know it's a small sample size. In defense, to me, that's it. So I am concerned about the Bucks. I know you like my voice, Perk. But on the other side, if it's okay, talking about the Knicks,
okay.
When I think about Karl Anthony Towns, he averaged 15 attempts, field goal attempts last year. Typically in his career, he's averaged around 16 to 17. Right now, he's only averaging 9.
Okay.
And I think when you're a new player in a new space, I know what this is like. Perk knows what this is like. You sort of don't want to make other players comfortable because you saw a team that had tremendous success. Nah, that is not your job. To me, Cat has to reach those numbers. He has to be that all-star guy. You should not worry about deferring to other people. He needs to get those attempts up, and I think that's one of those mind games that happens. I'm in an environment, but no, I think they've got to sort of flip the script on that.
The one thing that concerned me last night was Karl Anthony Towns standing in the corner a lot on this Knicks offense, and reminded me back when Kristaps Porzingis was in Dallas with Luka, as basically kind of playing third fiddle here. I want to see him post up more. I want to see him more involved with this Knicks offense.
Particularly when you bring in a guy, right, Perk, to be able to add to them offensively.
Yeah, you're right, Malika. And think about what Anthony Edwards said after they lost game 1 in Minnesota to Julius Randle at shoot-around. He said, it's not your job, Julius, to adjust to the Timberwolves. It's our job to adjust to you. It's the same way with the Knicks. Josh Hart said right before the season he didn't know what his role is. Well, I'll tell you what his role isn't. It's definitely not taking more shot attempts than Karl Anthony Towns. And Bobby is right. Establish the big fella on the low block. We know he can shoot threes, but when it comes down to Karl Anthony Towns being able to shoot that jump hook over both shoulders, the drop step, the footwork, the face-up game, everything across the board, you have to utilize that.
Yeah, I'm with you though. And for the Bucks, I think the rule is we can't really judge them until Chris Middleton is back with this team. And what better to do after dropping 50? Come celebrate with us on NBA Today. Paolo, most of us have never come close to scoring scoring 50 in a rec league, let alone in the NBA. Can you just tell us, what does it feel like when you're in the zone like that? Because I imagine it feels like hooping at an empty gym.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy. I'll say that. I was after the game, but like you said, just being in that zone. Honestly, I didn't drop 50 in high school or college, so I really had never been in a zone like that. Honestly, so to have it be on the biggest stage and be in the NBA and in front of our home fans, it was amazing.
There was a whole lot of MVP chants. I could even hear them through the TV raining down for you last night. You said after the game, well, maybe a couple less because I missed a couple of free throws, even though you went to the line a whole bunch. What does it feel like in those moments to hear that?
Yeah, it's a dream come true. I've said before, it feels like when you're in 2K, you're playing 2K and you're having a great game on 2K, they start chanting MVP. I remember the first time they did it in my rookie year, and I just remember, having chills run down my back, because I never experienced anything like that before. Just having a whole arena chanting MVP for you, it's a surreal feeling. It's something that, you always dream of as a kid, just hooping, at the park or in the driveway. And so thankful for the fans and just their support for me and also the team.
Did you get the game ball, and what is it that you're going to do with it if you did?
Yeah, I got the game ball. I put the shoes, jersey, everything. Got it locked away.
Yep.
Gonna try and get a nice little design on the game ball. With that line or whatever. And put it up in the house maybe. I have the one for my first triple-double last year, so definitely gonna have this one.
And leaving a little bit of space on that trophy shelf for anything that maybe will be coming to this Magic team. You were quick, though, to say in your postgame last night that this wasn't just about you. So as fans kind of continue to get to know this team, I want you to give us one word, if you could, to describe some of your teammates. I'm just going to rattle them off. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Jalen Suggs.
Dog.
Anthony Black.
I would say 2 words. I'd say budding star.
Ooh, that's good. All right. He didn't play last night, but obviously a pillar of this team. Franz Wagner.
Franz Wagner, I would say just the most consistent.
And if you were to describe this Magic team as a whole, what would your word be?
One word for us? Man, I would say just relentless.
Relentless. That's a good one. Hey, before we let you go, your family is a staple in the Seattle community. Athletics was sort of a key foundation of all of that. Your mom played in the W. Your dad played tight end at Washington. Your sister is an accomplished soccer player. Your brother is a quarterback in high school who is fielding D1 offers. So who's the best athlete in the Banchero family?
It's me. I love my family. All my siblings doing great things. My mom, she's a Hall of Famer at the University of Washington, but it's me.
I mean, as someone who has a younger sibling, I can kind of respect the sibling rivalry, and I would fully expect if I asked your sister, your brother, your mom, or your dad, all of them would say, you know what, he's wrong. It's me. You got to have that competitive spirit going in the family. Paolo, thank you so much for stopping by NBA Today. We really appreciate the time. Be well.
Thank you so much.
22 teams in action last night, so why don't we take a little trip coast to coast? We're going to start in Toronto. Nikola Jokic, he put up 40. The Nuggets needed all of them, and this one still went to overtime. Denver gets their first win of the season, though, Perk. Is Jokic enough for Denver to keep racking up these wins?
I mean, I would never. Jokic being enough is not the question, Malika. It's the others around him, like Jamal Murray. I mean, he had to work too hard just to get a single win last night. But again, Jokic is the best player in the league. So again, he's enough to win you basketball games. But is he enough for the Denver Nuggets to be title contenders is the question.
One we're going to keep asking. Heading to San Antonio now, Jalen Green. He put up 36 in a win over the Spurs, including 7 threes. Chiney, he got paid this offseason. Is the All-Star in the cards for him this year?
It could happen. Look, I was a little worried about my Houston Rockets to start the season, but this was a great effort by them. They had a lot of stops down the stretch, and more importantly, that young man has made 19 threes so far. I think he leads the NBA in made threes. So when you pay someone, you want them to pay it forward, and he is bringing the win to the Rockets.
When you said they had me in the first half, not gonna lie. Is that the energy that you're coming with? In Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox became the 5th player in franchise history to score 10,000 points. He and DeRozan combined for 47. The Kings lit the beam for the first time this season. Bobby, how far can these two lead Sacramento this season?
Well, I think they can become a top 6 team in the Western Conference. I think right now you're looking at it as an extended preseason for this group. They got to figure out the pace. DeRozan's kind of a slower up-tempo. Sabonis and Fox getting up and down the court here.
And you know what they got to do? Light.
It's lit.
The beam. Heading to Memphis, that's where Zach LaVine dropped 30 for the Bulls for the first time since November. The Bulls also tied a franchise record with 25 threes in the win. Perk, are you ready to say Zach is back?
Oh, absolutely. Look, averaging close to 25 points on 55% shooting. All I was hearing this offseason that his value was down. Some of those guys that were saying that GMs around the league obviously didn't use their grandma coupons when they were young, because I would have got it done.